So, first and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord Jesus Christ and Savior for this opportunity because without Him, none of this would be available or be able to do. With that being said, my people, que lo que hay, mi gente, que lo que hay, my people, what it is, you know what I'm saying? We're back at the OPP, the Oquendo Perspective podcast. And today's episode, what we're going to do is, I brought a couple young men to discuss a subject that's really important right now in our young men's lives. So basically, talking about when you hear a lot of podcasts about what women want, what they look for in a relationship, what they don't want in a relationship, and basically they can say whatever they want. But as men, if we say one wrong thing, say, "Oh, I don't want this chick," because she's, say, "I want a chick that has a nice body," or all the fat chicks, they all cancel us and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So we want to be able to just I want you guys to hear their voices. This is what young men think. You know what I'm talking about? This is our perspective. This is their voice. They're gonna be able to talk about what they want to talk about as soon as I ask them a couple questions. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. They're going to give us their name, their age, what exactly is going on in their lives right now. Say if they're working or going to school, relationship status, and we're going to give a little, what do they like to do in their free time, just so you guys can connect with the audience and the audience can connect with you. We'll start with you.
All right. My name's Anthony. I'm 25 years old. As far as right now, I'm single. I'm a truck driver right now at the moment, overnight truck driver. And one thing I really like to do for fun in my free time is, I would say, learn, gain knowledge, read some books at the moment.
My name is Xavier. Right now, I'm 23 years old, and right now I'm working at a warehouse part-time, and then I opened up a company with my grandfather, so I'm working in roofing, and I'm going to school back in the winter at NIU. And then something I like to do on my free time is work out, or that's basically a workout and just learn new things.
My name is Edgar. I'm 24. I am currently doing IT, and on my free time, I typically am either in the gym or I'm at church. And I'm missing one.
Perfect. So basically, what we're going to do here is, we're trying to figure out what happened to like young men or to like even young women. What happened when we choose a spouse, when we choose like a person that we're going to live our lives with, no boyfriend or girlfriend, just actually what a young man wants in a wife, So first question, we're trying to figure out what happened. Marriage was supposed to be one thing. It worked for like 5,000 years, but just like in the past 75 years, the divorce rate has shot up. Nobody wants to get married anymore. A lot of young men feel like it's just a bad investment. If they do get married, the girl can leave them, take half their money, take the kids, take the house. So it went from, it becoming one in spirit, the way the old days, the way the Lord had it set up to be one in spirit. And now it's like, oh, the women, if I don't get this, then you're not going to get that. So that's what we're going to try to bring it all together in this episode today. So first question, we'll start with Edgar, okay? So what kind of characteristics or traits would you want in a wife? So basically in a high-value woman, because obviously you're going to want a high-value woman for your wife.
Well, it really just depends on who's defining the term high-value woman at the end of the day, right? A high-value woman to a modern woman would be a woman that has money, a woman that is a leader, right? But to a traditional man, a high-value woman is going to be a submissive woman, a woman that is loving and nurturing, which isn't necessarily traits that high-value women today would carry. So myself,
I want to know your definition.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to separate that though,
that's
just
fine.
so we know what kind of.
Next question, man. Go ahead.
Okay. For me, so it's gonna be loving, nurturing. Woman's gonna have my back. Woman's gonna raise my kids to be good Christians, because of course I'm a Christian man. Woman's gonna have my back no matter what. Woman's gonna hold down the fort at home while I be the man that I am and provide for my family.
Okay.
A high value woman to me means that a woman that can we could grow together and be almost like a team, and that she can be independent as well. But someone that she could provide. No, not provide. That's not what I meant. What's the word I'm looking for? Someone we can just really just grow together, and that she loves me, and we could, I could take care of her, and that's about it.
Anthony?
All right. I would say the traits and characteristics that I'm looking for in a high value woman, I would say, is supportive, respectful, and considerate, especially considerate towards your thoughts and your feelings on what makes you comfortable or uncomfortable, because that's what I would do for my own woman. And yeah, it's essentially, and especially supportive, because as men we go and fight our own wars out there, and a good woman is someone that's gonna support you despite the hard times and trials and tribulations that you go through in life.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so Edgar gave a little bit of definition of what a modern woman is and traditional. Does anybody want to add on to what do you think, what you see in a modern woman or a traditional woman? And it just sounds like you guys basically all like traditional. But let's get your definition so we can the audience can see where you guys are coming from.
I would say probably at today's age, the modern woman would probably be someone that's someone that values freedom. Probably someone's more a little progressive. Traditional woman back in the day is what Edgar has said, someone that's submissive, someone that most likely stays at home, takes care of the kids while the man goes out and works and provides all the resources. But today in the modern day, I think a lot of women feel as though they have to carry their own weights because, today's age is not the same as back then. So I would say that's probably what the difference would be between a modern woman and a traditional woman.
A traditional woman, I rather would have, somebody, take care of the kids and stay at home and do that part while I could, take care of the family. Modern day women more, they kind of, I feel like a little bit more in a sense, want more like to be the provider, or be more independent. But I rather have a woman I could take care of and be the provider for. But that's really what I.
Do you want to add anything on?
Nothing, they're good.
All right. So then, so it sounds you guys all want or looking for a traditional woman, which is basically which most guys want. I never heard a guy be like, "Hey, I want a hoe." You know what I'm saying? No, you guys want something that's a prize for you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You guys don't really aren't. So anyways, so what exactly is a turn off, or what can turn you off when it comes to modern women? Because feminism in the beginning was cool. You know what I'm saying? Yes, females, it's okay. They need to do more things. But I feel like right now it's like hyper feminism. It's like all they do is take everything to the extreme. Hey, I want a submissive wife. Well, they'll return and be like, what? All you want is a slave. I would be like, if I wanted a slave, I would have said slave. So what exactly is a turnoff to each one of you guys in a modern woman? And what do you really appreciate in a traditional woman?
I would say in the modern women today, I would say actions such as degeneracy and what was the other? Degeneracy and their attitude towards life, not just like towards themselves, but I feel like if they don't have a good head on their shoulders, a good mindset, that is definitely something that you probably want to steer away from. Depends on your values and beliefs, but overall, I would say a woman that doesn't really think about the future. They're just living in the now and living young. And I think that takes part in the degeneracy and the freedom mindset that they're in right now.
Okay.
I go. Yeah. Women nowadays a lot like to make orders. Like they like to be more of a masculine woman, right? They don't like to be feminine, or they don't like to be submissive, right? Submissive is a bad word nowadays. Submissive is like you said, they tend to think that we're trying to make them be slaves. And which in all reality, I'll say, we talked about this not so long ago. I'll say myself, I do want a slave. I'll say myself, I do want a slave. But not in that way though, right? I'm not going to make you be a slave and demand you do all this and all that. No, it's more of a slave mindset. That's not necessarily, but it's more of, are you willing to trust my word and submit to my word, even if you disagree with it or even if you dislike it, right? A slave submits to their master no matter what, right? Yeah. And that's just the kind of mindset that I would like. Not that I demand it, but every man kind of likes a woman that would submit to them even if they disagree or even if they don't necessarily like what you're saying. I love and trust you enough that I'm going to submit to it anyways.
I would say, to add on to that, I think a lot of problem in that aspect also is with men, they don't give a woman something to submit too. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't lead, they don't take control. They force the woman to sometimes pick up their own way. I think a woman to truly submit to a man, he needs to obviously provide the resources. He needs to protect, he needs to honor, he needs to respect the woman, take control, and have respect towards himself as well. Hold himself to the same standards that he holds his woman. You know, I think a lot of men don't provide that, but yet they expect these things from the woman. So I think as long as you hold yourself to a high standard as well, I believe, you could ask that of a woman. But I think a lot of women these days don't want to be submissive because they go through a lot of men that
of course
have nothing to submit to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, I agree with both these guys. A turn off for me is when a woman tries to play a man role. So if they're like too aggressive or like, you know, they're just trying to play that part. But I also feel like some women nowadays kind of do that now because nowadays I feel like a lot of guys can't lead and they're supposed to be the leader and follow, like the woman's supposed to follow in their path. So I also do feel like that kind of is a big thing. But
agreed. Modern day masculinity has changed a lot too.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay. So, hey, David, give us your definition of a submissive woman. Let's see what a young man as
a
yourself.
submissive woman.
A submissive woman. What does she look like? What does she look like?
Let me think about it. I mean, someone who can be. I think it's respect that plays a big thing. You know, she has to respect herself first, and then I don't know how to explain it. I feel like a submissive woman to me is someone who respects not only herself but also the relationship. So someone who, you know, always caring and always trying to put forth like a persona of like she has to be, you know, respectful to me, and that's really it. I don't sort of.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier. Women just try to fit shoes that a man needs to fill. Yeah.
I would say a submissive woman to me that would look like a woman who follows the man's lead. I would say she's the type to put her input in the relationship in whatever situation that you're in, but ultimately she trusts you as a man to make the final say because she believes that you will lead them towards the right path, towards the finish line every single time. I would say that's how I have it in my head in that case.
So it sounds like you guys also want some loyalty when it comes to
Of course.
Exactly.
Loyalty is huge.
Okay, so can someone tell me their definition of loyalty?
Having a man's back in front of him or behind him.
Yep.
Right?
That's a big one.
Loyalty is what you do in front of your man, and on top of that, what you do behind him.
Exactly.
Because they have to think, oh, he doesn't see me. It doesn't matter. What doesn't know won't hurt him. Yeah, okay.
That's when it matters the most, you know.
Yeah.
When I'm not looking. So.
Okay, so another question right here, real quick, is this: so say, okay, you want a loyal woman, she's loyal to you, she won't cheat on you, but she's out there posting pics on Instagram, and you know what I'm saying, and getting all his DMs. Do you guys, even though she's not doing nothing wrong because she's not cheating on you, but she's putting out there, do you consider that, or is that part of you, or your you know, I don't like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's disrespectful. For sure. If you're posting stuff like that, like I'm not gonna go off the brinks and say OnlyFans content. That's crazy in itself. But if you're posting intimate parts of you, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be nude, but if you're posting intimate parts of you that only your spouse should be seeing, then it's just disrespectful. Yeah. Another part that goes into it, to being feminine, is being conservative, modest.
I would say in that case, you have to really analyze what type of woman that you're dealing with before you date someone. Like if that's not the woman you fall in love with, the woman that types pictures like that online, then yeah, I would say that would be an issue if she does all of a sudden change in that way in the middle of it. But if you went into that relationship knowing that she already does that, then whose fault really is it to kind of? It's like this mindset of get into the relationship and you're attracted to that woman, but then you try to change her in that way. I think that's wrong. You got to take her as she is before you get into the relationship.
So that kind of led to my next question is that what if when you met her, she was already doing that? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I know at some point you probably be like, you know what, hey, but now we're together, now you're my prize, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be my prize out there showing off her ass or whatever, you know, saying taking pictures because they want, you know, they want people to look at them, you know, talking about they want people to like, you know, just want to, you know,
Clicks.
Yeah.
clicks and see
Attraction.
photos and attraction and, you know, so what about that? What would you do if you were in that situation?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't agree with like. I don't like when girls post too much about themselves or like show off too much.
The attention?
Yeah, attention. I'm not super like that, so I don't. I don't like that for a girl either because obviously guys are gonna be hitting her in the DMs. I mean, there's no stopping that. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's kind of just like showing off her body and stuff. And I'd rather not have my girl out there, like that. I feel like that's kind of like disrespectful towards me, So I think that plays a part in it. And if she was like that before, I mean, I don't. It's like that. He said like that's the type of girl you're dealing with, so you kind of know it's already there. So like I mean, it's more often gonna occur than not. So I really think it's kind of hard to change that, and I don't like changing who someone is. I like for someone to be themselves. So if I have to I really agree with just having to change her. So I don't know. It's kind of what you're looking for, in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, I would say to that extent, I think it all depends. I mean, when you say posting pictures like they were talking about, like showing the ass, showing the boobs, just freaking.
What they do?
Yeah.
What they do? On
I would say
Instagram.
just general people who are you see posting today, like just average people, because even bikini pics,
Yeah,
something
and that,
simple.
in that case, especially if you were already in the relationship, she changes in that way. I think you just have a conversation with her to let her know that, that's making you uncomfortable. You'd rather her not post it, which is why one of the qualities I'm looking for is someone who is considerate. Because if I did something that made my woman uncomfortable and she civilly talks to me about it and says, I don't like that, it makes me very uncomfortable, I appreciate if you don't do that, then that's where I come in and reciprocate that quality back to her as well if I want to have her around in my life.
Okay. So, so say, but obviously you want a kind of a submissive woman. Would you expect her to stop, posting, or is that like a deal breaker? If she tells you you met me this way, you can't change me, I'm who I am, is that a deal breaker for you guys?
100%, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't happen for me, right? Because I'm gonna do my homework beforehand, right? I'm not gonna chase someone that I know is gonna disrespect me if we do get into a relationship. I'm not gonna chase someone like if I go onto her IG and she got a ton of posts and I see she's out drinking with her friends all the time or she's posting bikini pics. It's like I'm not gonna put myself in that situation, in that predicament. So for me, it's just like off the jump, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Because
All
I
right.
know my worth the same way these guys know theirs.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So now when you're choosing your woman, is it like is it, does she need to have a career? Does she need to be making money? Is that going to change your mind when you're out there searching for your woman, your wife? You know what I'm saying? In the Bible it says you find a wife, you find a good thing. So is that one of the requirements for her to have money or for her to have a career? You know what I'm talking about? Does that skew your choosing anyway?
Not at all, because truth be told, if I was a billionaire, I would still date a woman who's working at McDonald's. And yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, naturally, I feel like I want to be a provider and a protector. So her career is optional. I'm not going to say that, like it's completely a no-go, but that is not one of the qualities I am looking for in my woman. Because at the end of the day, if I am expected to provide and to protect and bring all the resources, then her career isn't really needed. If I'm that type of man that's going to step up to the plate and provide things like that. But no, a career.
You just take care of the kids and the family and
Yeah,
take care of the home.
My
home.
motherly qualities, yeah, like hold up your own weight if you're not going to be having a career or working, essentially. But yeah, overall, the overall question, no, I wouldn't care about the career, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
Xavier?
I mean, both these guys, they answer real good. Like, he basically said it all. But what I really look for in a woman is how genuine, how good person she really is. All the other stuff doesn't really matter. But if she's the type of girl I'm looking for where she's genuine and, like, hardworking, then she's going to build that career eventually, or she's going to get there, or I'm going to help her get there. So that's not really a big deal for me if she has to have a career in this, because the girl that I'm going to choose is already going to be motivated. So it's just about when she's going to get there, not where she's at right now. So, but the whole time I'm really looking for a girl that's very genuine and a good person, because all the stuff that we're talking about with, like, the pictures on Instagram and this and that, well, I don't want that in a girl. So that's what I'm really looking for.
Okay, so what we're trying to, saying, let the audience know out there that, men and women and women, we differ. What we think is important and what women think is important is totally different. For a man, we actually care about the past. What where you come from, what's your family like, or saying, are you part of the streets, whatever, saying. That's what the men really, really care about. We care about the woman's past. We don't really worry about the future because we know we got to take care of that anyways. But see, the women, they see it differently. They pick a man, they say, oh, what kind of life can this man give me? Talking about what kind of life can this man give me. So that's kind of like the difference, I'm saying. They like the future. We both have the same end, saying the end, meaning we both want to end up with a good family, kids, grow together, old, whatever. We both want that, but we come from different angles to get to that end, So that's one thing that I do want to reiterate, that we are different, what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right, next question here is
That's to us though. To all these modern women, they think we're the same.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Our voices are being quieted by society. We can't express ourselves because we get canceled, what I'm saying? But they can say whatever we want.
Of course.
But we say one wrong thing, we get canceled, so we get in trouble, whatever, you lose our jobs or whatever.
You hate women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got anything to say?
No, yeah, that's on the point where you said the men and women are different. Yeah, I think there's just a misconception that whatever like women like, they automatically think that, oh, that's what men must like. But I think
So
a lot of this whole.
So you say the women are entitled a little bit. They're entitled.
Well, no, not entitled. I think they just have the wrong idea of what attracts us and what would keep us. And I think it's also the same side with
Again,
men.
they think we're the same.
Yeah, essentially we're different. I would say we're equal, but we're just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just in different aspects of our characteristics of each, like, man and woman.
Okay, so let's see. What if she's the breadwinner? What if she's the one making the money? Talking about and taking care of business. Does that automatically give her, saying the authority, saying to become the head of the household? In your opinion, just because she's the one, talking about?
You can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say in modern society probably, but traditionally no, and biblically no.
I don't think. I think if for a man, well, everybody's different. There's always the exception to the rule, but I think overall in generality
The
is
exception
that
doesn't make the rule.
Yeah, exception doesn't make the rule. But I would say that in that case, I don't think the man can truly be masculine and be in that masculine role if the woman does make all the money, because in that case, it's the power dynamic that the woman has over the man at that point. It's just, I don't know. I don't think that could be a relationship that works out. But then again, I don't doubt that there are some that do work. But I think overall, yeah.
So in other words, you feel like the woman like loses a little respect.
I think so, because I mean, based from what I see, I think at the end of the day, a woman does want a man who she feels as though is better than her in a way, makes more money, has the status, has the power, has the ability and the drive to go do the things that not a lot of men can do, right? I think that's probably what that.
I think if the woman makes the most amount of money, she's the head of the household, because like that's the man's responsibility. So it would be in turn the opposite. So if she has all the parts, I mean, that's the man's responsibility to take care of that role. And if he can't provide it, then obviously the woman is. And then the man has to find his way to make the most money and take care of the family. But if she's making the most money, take care of the family, well, essentially she's sort of either way you look at it, she's sort of the head of the household.
Yeah.
'Cause that's man's responsibility to do. So whatever the man has to do to change that, then
Which typically doesn't really happen, right? Because women want men that make more money than they do.
Yeah, like how many percentage
That's
of that
really low.
situation really goes on in the world?
Minuscule,
that's very low.
It is very low, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it still doesn't give. I mean, to me, what I'm saying, she's making more money, but I'm saying, like, she still can't protect me.
Exactly.
She can't protect me, so that I'm saying, at some point
go out, I gotta
there
worry
has
about
to
you.
there has to be a level of respect. I'm saying, because what are you gonna do? I know what are you gonna do? Hey, this guy's gonna beat me up. You're gonna step in. It's just your job. No. All right, next question. Here we go. So, is it a requirement from your partner to be sexually experienced? Basically,
No.
is it
No.
if she has a past? is a requirement. I'll ask another question afterwards, but go ahead and answer that
Are
question.
you talking about if she has like a lot of bodies before like she met me?
Yes.
Um,
So,
Go
let me change the question around. So basically, so I've been interviewing a lot of women and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to this question, they just view men as insecure. So basically, obviously, those girls have a past. They're a little older, and then you guys probably say, no, I want the closest thing to purity as I can get. You know, a virgin or maybe 1 or 2 bodies. That's what a guy really wants. You know what I'm saying? He can work with that. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of guys be like, hey, I want a chick that has 100 million bodies. I never heard of that before. But so that's what I'm saying. So these women say that the only reason you guys, because all guys really want purity, the only reason you guys want that is because you're insecure. You can't handle a chick like that that could jump off the wall and do cartwheels and have you looking crazy. What do you think about that?
I would say they because I've seen podcasts a lot of men talk about that as well as far as the purity and wanting a virgin. I think the wording is wrong. Let me try to explain it in a more I'll say logical or sensible sense. I would say in that case, it's not that we're insecure when a woman has a lot of bodies. I think us as men, we're very prideful and very we hold pride and honor and really big into our characteristics. And when we have our woman, right, and we bring her to our family, I think we want to get into a place where we can be like, hey, yes, this is my woman. This is who I'm proud of. This is who I have. And we can't necessarily do that when we're presenting a woman who we know that half the town has had a turn with, and someone that acts very like I said, if you're progressive and you're you value freedom and you're promiscuous, cool, do your own thing. But in general, a lot of men, they really want to show off a woman that they are proud and happy to show off, because at the end of the day, that woman represents us as a man, and us as men, we represent our woman. So if we were out in the club acting stupid, flirting with other girls, we're essentially making her look dumb in front of other people. We're dishonoring her in that way. And a big way that a woman could really honor us is essentially, I think one is having a low body count that isn't promiscuous, because we want to be proud and happy that you are our woman. We want to show you off, but we can't really do that with a woman with a high body count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zero? Anything?
Well, a woman with a high body count, I mean,
So let me give the next question then. If we're gonna go to body count, okay?
Okay.
So say so obviously it sounds like body count kind of does matter here.
Of course.
Okay, so just from a male's perspective, what would be a number where you'd be like, oh, what? Nah, I can't do with this. What would be like? She has to have under a certain number for her to be to qualify for the women that you're gonna be choosing.
Okay. So we're talking about our age then.
Your age group.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You want to go?
no, go ahead.
I would say I'm 24. I say maybe 3.
So no more than 3.
No more than 3.
Okay.
Because I'm 24. I doubt that you've been in 3 serious relationships.
I kind of look at it in a sort of different way. Like that question you asked, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like even a girl tells you her body count, it's always going to be a lie. So like, I feel like there's no way to even be like, oh, they put a number on it. I can't even answer. Like, it's hard because like, I would just never know. And I feel like it would never be the truth. But I mean, you kind of tell if a girl's out there, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you see how she kind of portrays herself like that, then you kind of already know, and that's kind of the indicator to tell you, wait, like this girl's gonna be out there. So
If she has masculine features, then
exactly. So it's either, I mean, there's really no number, but I mean,
if you had to put a number on it, you know,
if I had to put a number on it,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's
That's
hard
right,
because
yeah.
this is like, we're in 2023, you know, and it's kind of
yeah, but
fake to say like,
she's your age.
she only
Though.
has one.
She's your age. Because I know I've interviewed girls who are 22, 23 and have had body count of 50.
Did they say that? They said that?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
no,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I've heard a girl younger than me. She's still a teenager. She had 50 last year.
Yeah, so to give
That's
us a
insane.
number,
Okay, that's
but you know
high.
what?
They
But
already
if we
set a mark. That's too high.
if we say something against those girls.
Yeah.
Oh, we're insecure.
You
Oh,
hate
we
women.
we're insecure. You can't handle this. My thing is this. I use this as an example all the time. Hey, when I take my girl out, what I'm talking about, wherever I take her, what I'm saying, I don't want to show up and meet me all hooked up with her, all in love with her. Thinking that she's my prize. But as soon as we walk in, all the guys are like, look who it is. You know what I'm saying? So and so. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is these females with these higher body counts, saying they get a certain age, now they're ready to settle down, and they still want that high value guy. They don't want no rinky dinky McDonald's worker, even though, you know what I'm saying, you gotta lower your standards with that type of number, you know what I'm saying? Because the high value guy is gonna look at them like, no thank you. And don't get me wrong, we'll run through them. We'll hit them, pow, pow, pow. But as soon as we done, hey, peace, I'm out. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with insecurity because, you know what I'm saying, we're knocking out the weight.
Yeah.
But I just want her to be, you know what I'm saying, any future with her.
If a woman, disrespects herself, then she's going to attract that type of attention. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's from like the start. So if a woman has a high body count, she values that so much, like she values sex and all that, well, then you're going to attract that type of attention. You're going to attract guys hitting you and, leaving. So, I mean, it's kind of impossible if you want a high value. It's like kind of like a fairy tale. Like no high value guy that wants a, traditional woman is going to want a girl that's out there like that, being a hoe. So that's what it is.
Taking it into account too, there was a study that came out recently that shows that women keep a piece of DNA with every man that they've been with sexually.
Really?
Yeah. So
I did
the
not
more
know that.
women, the more men she's been with in her lifetime, the less likely your kids are to look like you.
And the thing is, I think it's 10. If they've been more than with 10 guys, I mean, because they give a little bit of themselves away each time they have a different partner, so they give a little bit of themselves, So I think it's something like 10. Now, can you imagine? Just say you really like this girl. She had, say she has 10 guys, whatever. But she's bringing a whole lot of baggage. Like you're dealing with whatever the other guys did. She's gonna be like, oh, you're the same way. Woo, 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 woo. What do you think about that?
I mean, I probably would believe, especially if it's a very high number that she's been with, because probably, I mean, in that case, she's probably comparing you to them. I mean, at that point, I don't know. It's just
speak your mind, baby. Don't worry about it. Speak your mind. You're speaking. You guys are you're talking for every 22-year-old in the world, 23, 24, 25. You guys are talking for all those males. So it's let your voice be heard.
So as a Christian too, right? I believe the fact that when you have sex with a woman, you create a soul tie, right? So as a woman is having sex with different men, she's creating more and more soul ties, and on top of that, she's giving away pieces of herself to other people. And I think the number is 10, but again, there wasn't a study. I think it was less than 10, but we're gonna go 10. Is that if a woman has sex with more than 10 men, she's slowly losing the ability to have a spiritual connection with who she has sex with.
I would say also that sex is supposed to be something special and sacred for you between the man and the woman. And it's really hard to feel that it's very special and sacred between you and the woman when the woman who you said that has 50 bodies, it no longer feels special because you were so willingly to give yourself away to so many men. And not only that, having a high body count, this is for both men and women, I would say, is that I think it shows a lack of self-control and you give into your impulses because, I mean, I view sex as something sacred and special between both men and women. So if both the man and the woman had done that, it shows that they were really kind of just giving in into their horny urges just to bust a nut, essentially to satisfy themselves, rather than developing that special connection between them and the woman. So I think both genders have to be held accountable,
of course,
in that way.
Mm-hmm. And I honestly, like how you guys said, some girls that I know of that's out there like that, messing with a lot of dudes, they're easy. It's like when I talk to them or like even have a conversation with them, they're easier to like, they're just easier to like, it's easier to get with her. You know what I'm saying? It's just like she kind of like has that like.
They're more free out there.
Exactly. They're more free. So you could kind of tell. But the girls that I know that are like been in relationships or they have good jobs or like, just respect themselves more, they're a little like more on the defensive side. So like you kind of see both sides when you talk to different women because you can kind of tell like, oh, okay, this girl's like this and this girl's like that. And if I get in a relationship with this girl, I know how she's going to be. So you kind of see that like, you know, when you go out there and talk to other women, so you kind of tell, I feel like, too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, to me, it's just like, you know, it's just this modern world, you know, saying we're still speaking traditionally. But you speak to
Oh,
a
yeah,
modern
yeah.
woman, they're like, oh, casual sex is casual. As
Yeah.
long as it's okay between both parties, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But so I just, it's like, I hear that. And don't get me wrong, you know, I used to be a horny bastard myself, you know what I'm talking about? Hey,
Yeah, I know.
I can't talk, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's why I'm talking to you guys. But I didn't help the situation none either, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, you just, it just, you know what? Horny bastards. Okay, what else can we say about that? You know what I'm saying?
In a perfect world, everyone waits till marriage,
Yeah.
right? That's the dream. But in today's world, it's
different.
casual.
The temptation
it
of
is-
lust
it
is a
is
very
now.
strong.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a very
see,
strong thing.
And why is that, though? Why is it now like that in the modern, like, why do you guys feel like it's like that in the modern day age, where it's like, oh, it's okay to have sex with this person, and it's like less, you know, I don't, is it, or has it always been like that, but we just haven't seen it because it's no social media now.
I think it's the media.
I was gonna say social media, and on top of that, the nuclear family fell. Right, there's less fathers in households.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
the number
Right.
one problem.
Yeah,
Because if you don't have a foundation,
Yeah,
you know, to
if
teach
you
your
don't-
kids and everything,
exactly.
then you're just constantly.
if the
producing
foundation
off.
of your upbringing isn't already set, then it's gonna keep
Exactly.
falling.
I mean, a lot of deadbeat dads. I mean, I know a woman who got pregnant with a man, and the man dipped out to Florida. He's never seen his kid once. How do you think that child is gonna end up as? You know, he's
And that's why I feel like it's hard to judge people too, because you never know where they come from or how they.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you had that, I was lucky enough to have that foundation with my dad. He taught me how to become, you know, how to respect other people. But when I see somebody out there doing like being disrespectful or doesn't know
Yeah.
how to act, well, I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't have. Because I couldn't even imagine without my dad what he would
Yeah.
taught me. Because growing up with a mom, it's like a mom can't, you know, with a man, it's like hard to like, you know, raise
course,
somebody.
yeah.
So. You know, it's kind of hard to judge people on where they're at in life too, because you know maybe they have to learn later in life than what I learned earlier. So it's different too.
Okay. All right. All right. So, in your opinion, you guys' opinion, do you think for a relationship to actually work, should you guys have similar characteristics, similar beliefs? Do you think that's a very important part
Yeah,
of a union?
yeah.
I would
Easily.
say
Yeah.
a lot of I would say a lot of your beliefs and characteristics should align with each other, because I mean, if they don't, how is it really gonna?
Yeah,
Work
you're
out.
living your life based off of these beliefs,
Yeah.
right? So if you guys have two separate beliefs, and you guys are living two separate lives,
Yeah.
and you guys are just basically just being partners at that point, right? You're being friends. Biblically, we should be equally yoked, right? So you shouldn't be with anyone that doesn't have bare minimum the same beliefs as you, right? And then on top of that, like conservatism and liberalism, right? Like that makes a big difference too. If you're conservative, you can't get with a liberal woman. That's your life's gonna be ruined.
Entirely different beliefs, entirely different views and standpoints.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Christian as well, but I was like, what they teach you in church and in the Bible, you know, like the foundations that I carry high value. It's like that's what I want in a woman. So if she has the same, if she goes to church often, it's going to be more likely for me to find a better wife, or you know what I mean. If she's a Christian as well, so I feel like if you have that foundation and those morals then set, then I feel like the relationship, there's nothing stopping you at that point. You know what I mean?
I mean, to add on to what you said, when you guys get married, you guys become one.
One.
Obviously, you don't become one, and then, like you say, you live entirely different lives. You guys live your lives together. You guys go through everything together, essentially. So
It's us. It's no longer me and
yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's
no,
us.
It's
Exactly.
us.
All right. So, can any one of you guys, can you guys tell me the definition or the difference between lust and love?
Love is a choice, and lust is a feeling.
I totally agree. Couldn't say it
Love,
better.
yeah, love is you decide to love. You don't feel love, right? You feel butterflies.
Yeah.
That's lust. Lust is a feeling that you feel towards someone. Lust is that why the world's lost everywhere. Everyone's having sex, right?
Exactly.
But love is what you do in spite of how you feel. I can't stand you in 5 minutes ago, but
Yeah.
I still choose to love you regardless of that.
Yeah.
So
That's
the,
true.
the the reason why I ask you is like the first time you ask a guy, hey, what do you want in a woman? The first thing the guys say is physical attraction, beauty. That's the first thing you look for. But should that be one of the most important factors into making a decision for like a family and future, like future, you know, your future life?
I think.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, and I mean, obviously, in the beginning, some sort of attraction physically does need to play part, obviously. But as far as the whole picture, you know, being with them in marriage and going through everything with them, that's where love has to come in. Because I mean, how many men do we really like know that is still with their woman because of how great the sex is or how great their head is, right? Not necessarily love. They don't really want to let go of that sexual lust they have towards their woman, and they don't want their woman to experience that with another man, so they're holding on to him. But that's not really love. You know what I'm saying? Because you could probably still treat her like shit, but ultimately,
To answer your question as well, I feel like any guy that says like, "Oh, I don't care how she looks," I think that's a lie. I feel like you have to. Obviously, you're attracted to who you're attracted to, right? You find a girl pretty, she's pretty, but then I could go down the street and look and find a pretty girl. So I think that's what we're talking about, the lust. Like, there's pretty girls everywhere, you know what I mean? But finding love is like when you find her attractive, but she's also the person you're looking for as well. So that carries on as well. So I feel like once you find the attraction, okay, she's pretty, but how is she as a person? That's love. And then if she's good enough to take care of the family and do this, if she's like a partner for me, then it's like, okay, that's love, you know? That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, they got it.
See, I feel like it is important because that's like what your initial, that's what you see first. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that's what she pulls you in with.
Yeah, she pulls you in with that. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that should be one of the most important things because
I agree.
that fades.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
Beauty fades. You know what I'm saying? She should have. You know.
I want to add though that on top of that, social media has ruined attraction though, right? Because now most men have this idea that they're all gonna start dating Kylie Jenner or something. Like that's completely and utterly unrealistic. So social media has really taken its toll on that.
or
What an average man is attracted to is not a woman like Kylie Jenner, right? If a man were to take 6 months off of social media, the woman he's attracted to pre-social media and post-social media would be completely different.
or better yet, they want a Kylie Jenner, but with traditional high value woman
Exactly.
quality. How many percentage of those women are actually out there? You know, it's probably small.
Agreed.
So just going back, one quick question that I forgot to ask real quick was that so you know how women, like, you know, since they're like working more and they're you know, they're more modern, they're not trying to get married till they get older. They want to make some money. They want to travel. They want to do their own thing. So you know, around the age, I don't know, between 35 and 40, they start realizing, oh man, you know what I'm saying, I'm wasting time. You know what I'm saying, I want to have family, and they're realizing all this. But then when you talk to them, they're still expecting that 1% man, you know what I'm saying, making $500,000 a year. But man, if I was that 1% man, I would tell them like this: like, first of all, you've been giving it away for the past 20 years for free. Now you come to expect me to come pay for it top dollar when you are used and abused. I mean, what do you feel about that?
It's crazy.
Isn't that right though? They can have those high body counts, but they still want that.
Because every woman wants to be a princess, right? Everyone wants to live that Disney, that fairy tale ending where they end up with this guy where he treats her like this and he able to provide this lifestyle, which is great, yeah. But you need to then be realistic with the fact that if you're 40 years old, it's not gonna really happen. Because you can't offer what a younger woman can. You can't offer the same purity that a younger woman can. You can't offer that same attraction that a younger woman can.
So older man, say a man works behind off, you know what I'm saying, and now he's 40.
The problem
Now he's 40, but do you really think now that he's making it, now he's got good money, you know what I'm talking about? He wants to leave a legacy. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying, the way I see it, if you're 40 and you want to create a new life and some legacy for your future kids or whatever, you're probably going to go after something a little younger.
Yeah.
You're not gonna look for, especially if you got money, because if you got money, you're gonna have the females lining up. Doesn't matter what, they're gonna line up. You know what I'm talking about? And then the old women tend to get upset when guys say, "Well, I want a younger woman," and they'll be like, "Nah, you're pedo, you're pedophiliac." You know, it's not that stuff. What do you guys say about that?
I think it's just a preference, really. Like, if I was that age, like you're talking about 40, and I'm successful, and I'm looking for a woman, I'm not necessarily looking for a young woman, but I'm looking for somebody that has good traits. You know what I mean? So like,
so what age frame would you?
But you gotta remember that she's gonna have more bodies too.
oh, you're talking about more bodies?
No. But I'm saying you gotta take that into account.
Oh,
if
okay,
you're
okay.
40 years old, you're gonna look for another woman that's 40. You gotta remember that she's gonna have a higher body count than a woman that's 20.
Yeah.
20 years she's been giving it for free, man. Now,
Well,
now she wants you to
but
pay for
I
it.
I wanna go ahead.
But I feel like isn't there also women that are older that don't have high body counts as well? though?
That's a
It
possibility
happens, yeah.
too.
But again, the exception doesn't make the rule, right?
Yeah.
I was saying
Usually,
like
usually
you
an
know,
uglier woman. You
I
know
wish
what I'm
she was
talking about?
married.
You know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
If she's pretty, I don't think she's gonna be with a low body count. 40 years
But
old.
young girls, we were just talking about, they have like 50 bodies.
No, okay,
You know what I'm saying?
generation for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Generation makes a difference for sure. But again, I want to say though that a woman's prime to find a man is when she's young, and a man's prime to find a woman is when he's older. Because a woman is looking for what he can provide, versus a man is looking for attraction, right? So a man is looking for someone that's beautiful off the
That
jump.
doesn't have a past.
That doesn't have a past, right? A man's looking for someone that's beautiful off the jump, which is why it ends up being someone that's younger. And a woman ends up with someone older typically because they're not necessarily worried about attraction. They're worried about what a man can provide, with the lifestyle he can provide. I can end up with someone 10 years older than me, and we can go to Hawaii next week. Whereas if I get with you, I gotta drive you to Walmart in the morning for your shift.
Okay.
I mean, the problem what I have sometimes when I see like even when I talk to girls my age or young girls, they're all like, sometimes how they think is not even how I even like they're just always portraying like go now.
Modern.
Hook. That's what I'm saying. So like I know I talk to some older girls as well, and I'm like, man, I like you better than the younger girls because I just like how you portray yourself more, and maybe you learned. I don't know, but I feel like you treat yourself better than a younger. Because I know so many young
Well,
girls.
the generation, the generation and its values, right? Less than 30% of today's world believes religion is important.
Yeah.
So when you take that into account, it's like, yeah, well, that means 70% of the population is probably having casual sex. It's probably just throwing it out there, being more liberal, being more free. Right? So only less than 30% is actually taking care of themselves and actually caring about their future.
I feel like it's super rare to find like a girl that's young that really, it's what we're looking for, right? Because we're talking about the modern day era. It's like, man, that's like that. I mean, that's been hard for me to find for sure.
Of course.
Like,
If you find a good one, you gotta keep her. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna
Are
find
you
too
guys in
many
a
out there.
relationship or I'm single?
No, I'm single.
I'm
That's what I forgot to add in
all
the
single
beginning.
too.
That's what I forgot to add in the
For a
beginning.
reason.
No, yeah, I'm single.
For a reason. We're single for a
See,
reason, man.
So I asked a similar questions to a group of women your age, you know what I'm talking about? And they're like, oh, I want a man that's 6 foot. I want him to be making minimum 250, you know saying $1,000
The
a
top-
year.
yeah, the top
they
1%.
want the top 10% or
No,
down, you know
it's
what I'm talking about?
1%, top 1%.
Yeah.
Whatever in that percentage. So that's what they're looking for. So then what I rebuttal when they were telling me this stuff, I was like, you're really talking about a 45-year-old man.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna find too many, 25-year-old men
Even
unless they
then.
came from money. Gonna have that type of money. You know what I'm talking about? So you're gonna have to lower your standards down because I mean, it's almost like it's like delusional. Some of the stuff that these females want nowadays.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the average man's salary in the United States is 30 to 40,000.
Yeah. And honestly, I want to add something too. Like a lot of those girls that think like that, they're like social media like addicts. You know what I mean? So like, just don't fall into the trap of like you see Instagram. Those are all highlights of a vacation or something you did, right? But that's not real life. So like when a girl sees, oh my God, 6 foot. How many videos have you seen? Oh, I can make millions of dollars. That's all like that's just all for show. So we're talking about real life. So a girl that thinks like that or sees that on social media, she wants to live that life, just know it's a lie. Like there's no this, that, and that. Like you're not gonna find no model. You're not gonna have 6 foot, 200. Like come on, we're talking about something in a fairy tale.
I'm 5'9". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm 5'9".
All right, you know what? So we have like a couple minutes left to do this. So I'm gonna ask you one last question, and this question is a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Right? Hypothetical. I've asked this question, women and men, and I've gotten pretty much the same answer all the way around. So let's see if you guys come with the same one. So say hypothetically speaking. You guys have your partner and you guys have family, okay?
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, the angel of death comes and tells you, asks you, it's your choice. Either you give your life up or your wife give your life up. What are you choosing?
Me,
You?
100%.
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
So if the angel of death came and said, hey, you have a choice. Either you can stay alive or your wife can stay alive. Whose life would you give up? Whose life?
Damn, I don't know. Probably. Go ahead. You guys answer. I don't know.
Mine,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yours, give up yours. Basically, but that's what most men say. They most women be like, "No, their man, the
take
man,
him.
take him."
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is the final. So we're over here at the end. Make sure you guys like and share. Hit that button, snap it, boom, 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 boom. Share as much as you can. Here at the Oquendo Perspective podcast, the OPP, we want to say, stay safe, stay smooth. God bless. We out of here.
Amen.